Phil.
Hey.
Hello, folks. We're reviewing. Oh, I'm sorry. We're not reviewing. We're examining wheat beers.
Wheat beers.
Wheat beer.
Now, I'm looking at Parish Cane Break from Louisiana. 4.9% alcohol with a little bit of cane sugar added.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
Yeah, it is. Dale Roberts is from. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm going out of order. Tom, the Beer Whisperer, is from Missouri. And what are you looking at, Tom?
I went local. I've got a Springfield Brewing Company, Walnut Street Wheat, and the reason I went with this one was because of the breweries that I have here in town. This one has been brewed the longest. This one has been brewed since '97, so I went with kind of a classic, a standard.
17 years old.
Nice.
Dale from Colorado. Dale Roberts from Colorado.
Yep. I've got tonight. I grabbed a bottle. I changed it up. I got so many to choose from, so I went with Prost Brewing Weissbier. It's a Bavarian-style wheat ale, Denver, Colorado. So we'll get this one going.
How long they been around?
They have been around. 2011.
Oh, so they're new, just like
and they're in
Paris.
downtown Denver. Downtown Denver. So.
Downtown Denver. And we have Dave Coulter from Cleveland, Ohio, in the great northern United States. What do you have?
Well, sir, I have the Hoegaarden. It's a Belgian wit beer that I understand is now owned by AB InBev. Is that correct, Jay?
Yeah,
Yes.
I believe. Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened was the company went out of business, okay? Hoegaarden was defunct, dead. And then Pierre Celis, he revitalized the brand Hoegaarden, and then he there was some kind of problems, like he wasn't a good businessman, supposedly, or whatever, but he was a great innovator with beer, and he revitalized Hoegaarden, and then there was some kind of internal problems, and InBev took control of it, but then Pierre Celis went and created some great wheat beers in America, like the one from Michigan, Celis Grand Cru. Unfortunately, Michigan Brewing Company went bankrupt, but there are still some Celis Grand Crus aging on some store shelves. But Pierre Celis died, unfortunately. He was an old man. He moved down to Texas before he died and did some work down there. But so he did single-handedly save Hoegaarden from extinction.
Nice.
Good for him. I'm happy, man.
Yeah,
I actually never had that Hoegaarden.
You never had that, Dale?
I have not had it.
Oh my gosh, there's one I'm going to send you then. Oh my God. I can send Dale a Hoegaarden.
There we go.
Oh.
That beer is very common, though. You should be able to find that.
I'm sure I could, but, you know, it's the principle.
The principle of
Right.
the
Right,
principle.
Dave's having problems finding beers I haven't had, so.
Ooh, look at this thick head.
Yep.
Well, thank you.
That's
You
what
need
she
a
said.
beer.
Yeah.
And it's so golden and hazy. And it's
Behave
got,
yourself, Tom. Tom, behave yourself now. I think you're talking about something else, Tom. Are we talking about beer, Tom, or talking about something else here? Wait a minute.
Whoa.
why don't we
Whoa,
take a
whoa.
lesson from Dave Coulter and learn how to act on the internet, please?
There we go.
I can be nice when I have to be.
I
right?
poured nice, and then I got to that bottom of that
I gotta
bottle,
be
and
me,
that
man.
juice fell out, so.
All right. Well, everybody seems like they've got golden hues.
I got the golden and then the hazy because the remaining yeast in the bottle came out and filled up and made me nice and cloudy and delicious. So.
Yeah, mine too. Mine too, Dale.
I forgot to shake mine, damnation. I gotta,
Take it.
excuse my language, but I forgot to shake my bottle.
Yeah, you got to get that swirl in there when you're drinking a good wheat
Yeah.
beer.
Yeah, it really brings out the nose.
Yep.
And it's got sediment, too, I'll have to. And this thing is made with that cane sugar. It's kind of strange. They use
Yeah,
Steens.
it's interesting.
You might have seen Steens in the grocery store. Steens comes in that little yellow can. They make molasses and cane syrup, and people
Oh
cook
my
with it.
goodness. Oh yeah, baby.
Well, what's the alcohol content of the beers you're drinking? Mine is 4.9, so it's very drinkable and sessionable, I should say.
Mine actually isn't listed on their website, but I'm guessing it's probably between 4 and 4.5. I don't think this is anywhere near, or any above 4.5. It's very light. It's very drinkable. They use malted barley, malted wheat, and raw wheat to get the color. It's just one. It's not really a Hefeweizen. It's more of a classic, early craft beer American wheat.
Who makes that? Who makes that, Tom? Who brews that?
Springfield Brewing Company with the Hop Lobster. I sent you the same brewing company.
Do they make that all year? Is that year round?
Yeah, this is a year rounder. So if you want one, I'll get one to you.
Yeah. You might put that in the next box for me if you will. Yeah.
I'm sending 4.5% over here. So 12 IBUs, so there's not much going on there, but
yeah.
No. Now they're all low IBU, aren't they?
Oh yeah.
Again, I don't have the stats on mine. They don't have them listed. But Dale, I'd be surprised if this one here has more than 10. To be honest with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's about right.
Dave, the Hoegaarden is what, 4.5% alcohol, if I recall?
This is actually 4.9.
Oh, I don't recall then.
It's got a touch of it's got some good orange peel and some trace of coriander. Now it's interesting because when I did my beer review, I poured out that last little bit and it changed the entire complexity of the beer. I mean, you really got the spices after that last little bit. Because it was a relatively clear pour at first. So yeah, you got to pour it all in here to get that.
Yep, that's the Odell Brewing Easy Street Wheat. They actually have instructions on the bottle that tell you, pour out 3/4 of it and then do this whole wrist motion thing. And then pour the rest in, so they're trying to educate.
Yeah, Odell's got some good beer.
Well, I did pour the last bit in, and it did drop a cloud in there. It looks like a cloud. Okay.
Yeah.
Descending cloud. Let's see if it changed the aroma. I doubt it changed it.
No,
the aroma on mine early on is I get a lot of lemon peel and coriander, amongst a lot of yeast. It's very yeasty, but I get a lot of lemon peel and coriander.
Yeah, I'm getting bread and sugar.
Bread and sugar. I don't know.
I'm getting overwhelming banana. So.
That's what. Hey Jay, I gotta tell you, I gotta interject here. That's what our parents used to feed us because we didn't have a lot of money, so we would have bread and butter and sugar. Oh my God! Did you guys eat that too? Oh my God! All my teeth on the top got fillings. All my teeth on the top got fillings. All the bottom is cool, but the top got fillings. Oh my God!
No, I used to make a sandwich with just get a piece of bread and throw some mayonnaise on it and fold it over. That was when I was a kid. That's what I ate.
Mayonnaise.
It's disgusting, but.
We had to eat that stuff because we didn't have anything else. We had to eat it, man.
Yeah. Some people that eat mayonnaise sandwiches. Well, Dale, what were you saying though?
What about my beer?
Yeah.
I'm getting an overwhelming banana out of mine. Banana and then the clove, but a lot of the banana and and then you get the yeast. You can definitely the breadiness that. But so I'm getting almost it's a good banana bread. Where's the nuts? Let's.
Yeah.
That's not Rocky Mountain oyster. That's
right.
There's no nuts in that one.
There's a beer style, the Rocky Mountain Oyster Hefeweizen. There you go.
Now, Abita Brewing Company in Louisiana used to make a wheat lager. It was kind of unusual, a wheat lager, but I guess people didn't like it too much, so they discontinued it. But that was one of their first beers back in the 80s. It kind of grew on me over time, but...
This is not a style I drink often. And it's not that I don't like it. I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm such an IPA head and hop head that it just, that's what I'm always reaching for.
Yep, it seems like back in the say mid '90s when brew pubs really started popping out, it seemed like it was wheat beers and stouts, and that's pretty much all anybody drank. You didn't really see a whole lot of IPAs back then, and now with craft beer just exploding, it seems like beers like this kind of get forgot about.
Yeah, and when I went to Missouri, to Kansas City, Missouri in 2007, the big hot item then, though, was Boulevard Wheat. The lady said that was their hottest beer.
Yeah, Boulevard Wheat's always been a bit. Boulevard, I'll tell you what Boulevard Wheat is to folks in Missouri. Boulevard Wheat is what macro drinkers buy when they think they're buying a great beer. Is they go and buy Boulevard Wheat because it's not really that big banana clove Hefeweights, and it's more of a classic. It's a little bit lighter American wheat. So there's some flavor. There's a little more flavor. It's a little more quality than say a Bud, but it's not a big, huge, craft. It's not an IPA. It's something. It's this generation's or that area's Michelob. What Michelob was to folks in the 70s, basically.
Yeah, it's kind of like this cane break, because when you go to all the bars in Louisiana now, the cool people drink cane break when they're not drinking Budweiser or Bud Light. I'm not putting it down, but but it is extremely popular on draft around here, and I can tell you a little story about cane break, but I'm gonna have to do that off air. But anyway, Dave Coulter is actually drinking the most historic beer tonight, because I think Hoegaarden is in that book that my daughter gave me for my birthday called 300 Beers to Have Before You Die. I'm pretty sure that Hoegaarden is in that book.
Yep, and I think this started in the 1700s something, didn't it? I don't have my glasses on.
Oh yeah, it's like really ancient as far as the beer. It was like a craft beer 200 years before they had craft beer. One of those type things.
Exactly.
Kind of like Pauline or Salvatore, or what's another one that was a craft beer before they had craft beer? I could think of them if I was trying hard enough. You know what I mean? They just made them really fine. Oh yeah, well, like West Latrin 12, they've been making that since 1931. So.
Yeah, well, all the Belgian beers. Every beer I've had this week from Belgium, yeah, they're all.
Yeah, like Gulden Draak. But that's from 1982. But still, that's a great beer,
For sure.
And that Bornum Tripel and that Bornum, I think Dubel he had, and
yeah, those were strong beers. Oh my gosh.
He had that Gudendrak 9000. But anyway, wheat beers. I'll tell you, you watch videos I've made. Maybe my complaint about wheat beers is that they don't pair well with food, and that a lot of times they have a tap water flavor. An underlying tap water flavor. So I'm not a real big fan of wheat beers, but I drink them from time to time.
I don't know that they don't pair well with food, but they are light. I mean, if you're going to have them with food, you're eating them with, or you're drinking them with something very light.
Yeah, like salads or cracker and cheese platters. Yeah.
Yeah, there you go. Perfect. I mean, for me, a beer like this would be a perfect, say, lawnmower beer. I don't know that I'd pair it with food, but I don't think it would. I mean, it would certainly go well with food.
I mean, if I was at a barbecue eating, I call it a barbecue, but a picnic with eating hot dogs or whatever right off, and I mean, out in the hot sun, it'd be a great beer to chill out with, And
yeah, because
drink
it's going to go down easy.
Yeah,
it's not going to bring out any off flavors of your food. You're going to be able to drink it, and it's fairly low in alcohol content.
And I can see that the reason I say it doesn't pair well with food is because a lot of times when they have that overwhelming coriander and banana and bubblegum component, I find it interferes with the flavor of the food. So I prefer to have those as a standalone. But
yeah, you're actually right. I was thinking of the particular beer that I'm drinking in my hand, but yeah, that big classic, banana.
Like the one Dave's drinking.
I can agree with
that one might be a little more difficult to pair with food. The Hoegaarden, for sure.
Now, but I do think wheat beers, like we're drinking, more or less, even the Hoegaarden, are good for people that are your light beer drinkers, because it's not going to be too harsh. So I can see somebody going from a Bud Light, and that's why the Parish Cane Break is so popular, because it's not that much of a jarring transition.
Flavor jump.
Yeah, I would recommend this to macro drinkers that want to step out of their comfort zone, not just because of the flavor or the quality of the beer, price as well. The brewery sells this for $8. It generally sells anywhere between 7 to 8, and I picked it up at a store for $6.49. So we're talking about a price comparable to a macro is a premium or top tier macro. Let's say it's not much more than a Bud or a Miller or genuine draft.
Now, yeah, and we get around here. They have a lot of these wheat beers that'll go on sale, like Shiner Hefeweizen will go on sale for $6.99 a 6-pack, and
well, that's how easy this was to drink because I had to open 2.
yeah, like the famous reviewer J. Gavin says.
I ain't playing, Martha.
Gavin says that if you're going to drink 1, you may as well drink 6. But
I'm about to finish this one, and then we'll have to go find another. So.
I know you came prepared, Dale. I know you've got a backup somewhere.
Well, I got.
Well, beers here. Yeah, we'll have to get off air to do that, though.
I will bring this point up.
I'll try to keep my clothes on as long as possible.
Whoa.
Definitely while we're on the.
Appreciate that, Tom.
appreciate that.
I appreciate that.
Yep.
Everybody else does, too.
I certainly appreciate. Now,
Hey, just so you guys know, I'm kind of going slightly off topic for a second. I'll give it back to Jay. As I'm doing a pilgrimage to Piney River tomorrow, so I'm doing that tap room tomorrow.
Do they bottle?
They can.
I can get you. So I want to. That's what I planned sending you this time, Dave. But you requested specific things, so I thought, well, I'll get those to you next time.
Well, hey, don't let me interfere. Pick up what you
Well, I sent Bill the Old Tom Porter last year, and he just loved it. So I want to get you one of those.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was a great beer.
oh yeah. Now,
Anyway.
no.
Sorry, Jay.
Oh, that's okay.
I get distracted easy.
Oh, that's okay. It's one time I went to City Island, New York, and I had seafood. Anyway, it was a salad with shrimp.
Whoa, what is that? I missed it.
It was off topic, but anyway,
But it made sense.
Keep the trains going. Let's go.
I need a music interlude. No?
no.
Okay. No.
What
All
I'm
right.
trying to say, we're talking about wheat beers, and one thing I wanted to put in here, I was thinking about it. You know the 2 most popular wheat beer brands in America are? You know what they are?
Oh no, I don't want to hear this.
Well, it's a fact. Blue Moon and Shock Top.
No, I knew he was going to say Shock Top. Oh my God.
That's a fact. Those are the 2 most
My
popular.
head hurts. It's time to go. My head
And
hurts.
they're both owned by big breweries, and that opens that whole other topic that I wanted to have a discussion about. But
Well, you know, that is a can of worms, but I mean, do you think Blue Moon and Shock Top have created craft beer drinkers by default? You know.
Yes.
Dave says timeout. Hold on.
Sorry, Dave.
I
don't want to talk about BMC beers. We got on here to talk about wheat beer. I don't want to talk.
Well, wait. Shock Top and
No,
I got to leave the conversation, man. I don't want to twist it over to BMC beer.
No, I agree with Dave. Let's stay on topic.
Yeah, I don't want to twist this conversation over.
I was just mentioning that just as a point of reference.
You know, I take that as a note. I respect that,
That's
and
true.
I take it as a note.
That's true. I get
And
you.
I wouldn't want people to misunderstand. I am not a fan of Shock Top, nor am I a fan of Blue Moon. I don't like either one of those beers. I like some of their variants. I like Shock Top chocolate wheat beer, and I like Blue Moon Mountain Abbey Ale. But the two flagship wheat beers from those companies, I don't care for at all.
Yeah.
But anyway, going on.
Yeah. Well, you're talking about wheat beer. We were talking about Boulevard earlier, which was recently purchased by Duvel.
Correct.
You know, I think we're talking about Boulevard wheat being just a very easy drinking wheat. I think that beer with the distribution capabilities of Duval, that beer is going to be everywhere. I think it's going to. I really think it's going to rival those macros because it is such a nice, approachable wheat beer. And
I
with
would
the
agree with that.
I would love to see.
going to be big.
Yeah, I would love to see Boulevard beers come to Louisiana. They've never been sold down here. They tried to sell the Point beers, from Stevens Point Brewery in Wisconsin. That bombed out. That bombed out worse than Heaven's Gate in 1981. So I would like to see Boulevard come down here and succeed. I'd buy it. I'd buy their single wide, and I'd like to try their double wide IPA and a whole bunch of other stuff from Boulevard.
Yep.
Not everything they do knocks it out of the park, but everything they do is pretty solid. The single wide, the double wide, their smokestack series beers do knock it out of the park. The rye on rye, the saison bread, I mean, those things do knock it out of the park. But their regular line may not knock it out of the park, but they're very approachable.
And there's something to be said for approachable, but
and in my neighborhood, they're also affordable. I know in other neighborhoods they're more expensive, but here I can generally pick up a 6-pack of any Boulevard, not the smokestack, but the regular line, for $7 to $8. So, you know, times when money is tight, I can still buy a decent beer for not much money.
yeah, well, that's good. I think we kind of are thinking along the same lines that we don't dislike wheat beers, but they're not on the top of our list of something we grab.
I agree with that.
I do, yeah, I agree with that 100%.
I'm kind of a...
There was a time early in my craft beer drinking, life that I drank a lot of wheats, but over the last, say, 15 years, I don't know if I've drank that many.
Now, Dale was going to say something.
Well, I've been exploring because as Dave is finding out, I've tried to get my hands on as many different things. So I try everything. I try to find a bottle of everything, and I pick them up. And luckily for me, here where I'm at, I got a couple different stores that do a lot of singles. They got a lot of single doors, so you can build your own 6-pack. And once a week, I go see. Okay, I haven't had this. It may not even be a style that I like. There's a lot of these pills and the wheat beers and some of these, but I wanna, it's kind of, maybe I'm obsessed. I want to get them check marked. Try them. Maybe I all of a sudden find something that's like, whoa, wait a minute, maybe I need to drink that. And
Yeah,
so there's a lot of wheat beers for me like that. And
then that's kind of the different mentality between the two types of beer drinkers, isn't it, Dale? I mean,
yeah.
most macro drinkers are very brand specific. Bud
Correct.
drinkers hate Miller. Miller drinkers hate Bud. They're very brand specific, but macro drinkers are the opposite. We might have a few breweries that we always go back to.
You need to say micro drinkers. You meant to say micro drinkers.
Yeah. Our craft beer drinkers, macro, the big ones are very brand specific. Us craft beer drinkers, though, we may have a brewery or two that we always go back to, but we're always looking for something different.
Yeah.
Right. And I can go to Stein's Deli every 2 weeks and just get another 12-pack of singles, and it's like a pretty exciting situation. And plus, they have a great price point on most of their stuff. I'm trying to get Dave to come check Stein's out one day. I think he'd have a nervous breakdown from excitement, but it'd be a good thing. It'd be a good breakdown, and then he could get it back, and then he'd have so much fun. When he saw.
We're not like kids at Christmas, aren't we? When we go to liquor stores and they got something new. I mean, every time I have to go out of town and I see brands I haven't seen before or haven't been able to purchase, man, I'm like a kid at Christmas.
Yeah, my big regret when I went to Cleveland was not going into some of those craft beer shops because I was like a kid. Hey, I was like a kid at the 4th of July, literally, because it was the 4th of July, and a lot of those type specialty stores were not open that day. So, yeah, I didn't really get to find too many craft beers on my northern trip.
Did you go to Great Lakes Brewery, Jay?
I did get some beer from Great Lakes Brewery. I got the.
You go to the brew pub, though.
No.
No, that was less than 1 mile from where you were at the Indian Stadium. It was right over the bridge. It was right over that bridge. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I'd have gone.
July 4th, a lot of places were just boarded up, like they weren't open.
Oh, this place was open, brother. Believe me, it was open.
Yeah, well, I went to 7-Eleven, and they didn't really have a great selection, but nor Walgreens.
Walgreens? What the hell?
I mean, they didn't have, that's all I saw as far as people selling beer. But, I do regret not going to the, being able to go check out a lot of craft beer places up there. But anyway, you know.
Kill two.
Huh?
That beer is done. I gotta drink this beer.
Hey, got to kill two of these babies.
Yeah. Well, anyway, we don't want to get too far off the track, which is easy to do, of course. But wheat beers, my general opinion is they're okay. I don't hate them.
It's an acquired taste.
For my closing remarks, I'd say, I mean, you know, they're hot weather beers. I mean, I'm a 95 today. A beer like this kind of hits the spot. No, I'm kind of with Dale. They're not beers that I look for or search out, but there are times when a beer like this just does taste good.
I enjoyed the Canebrake I just drank. It's not something I would typically buy, but I liked it. I can't say I didn't like it. I think they do a great job with it, and I'd have it again, no doubt. No doubt, my friends, no doubt. Any other comments?
Oh, jeez.
That was beautiful. Any other comments?
Did you like it? That felt good too.
I think wheat beers is a lot like Scotch. It's an acquired taste, and that's all I'm going to say. It's an acquired taste.
I think wheat beers could be that entry level for the macro drinker to step into the craft beer world. And if they start there and then, you know, get into the craft lagers and the craft pilsners and then say, oh, well, what about an ESB or an amber ale? Kind of just start stepping your way,
Right.
you know. And I really think so. It could be really that gateway, you know.
I think Dale's exactly right. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's what's good about them. So, and it was interesting. It was an interesting style to look at, I think. It has its place. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
So, I guess that's it. Maybe in the future we'll look at a different style. I think it's interesting to do that.
Yeah. No, for sure.
You know, pick one once a month and stay seasonal. I mean, the wheat was perfect for a hot August day, so you know, pick one for September.
I really agree with that. I think September would be good for Oktoberfest style beers.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes perfect sense. And you know, November do pumpkins or a seasonal squash beer, say.
Yeah, I like the idea of pumpkins. Yeah.
Well, I changed it to seasonal squash because I think I'd go with the sweet potato ale I've got handy. But you know.
Yes, we could. Yeah, you making me think about pumpkin.
Your harvest seasonal. You know, your harvest season.
There you go, Dale. There you go.
Well, thank you, folks, we do appreciate the hundreds of thousands of people that'll be watching the video over the next couple of days. So,
Sure.
If you don't watch, I'll send somebody to get you. I know a guy.
That's right.
Thank you, folks.
Forget about it.
Thank you for watching. Thank you for watching this video production.
Yay.
Excellent.